The Black Widow, Chapter 3. Glamour proceeds in front of the mirror. I'm in my dressing room and June, the wedding stylist, has portrayed me as beautiful. I don't think I've ever seen myself look so collected since prom night. Here I stand, a 19-year-old bride. He proposed 3 months ago, and I have not seen his ultraviolet flaws for some time now. We like to call it the dark months, the months we decide to forget as he was in a dark place. We've been good at hiding it and trying to forget it. I've never called anyone. I just healed and got on with it. And then one day, in a bloody haze, a shimmering diamond brought us out of hell. My pitch black hair is tightly curled and rests gently on the back of the dress. Although cliched, the dazzling white gown flows long behind my feet. A corset has devoured my waist, leaving a picturesque bride. I force a smile in the mirror, painted in makeup and material glamour. Today I'll be married. Those words scare me like nothing else. My mother enters. She looks at me and attempts a smile. The heartbreak is transparent. I can see her trying to hide the disappointment, to stay optimistic. She doesn't really know what to formulate other than comments on how I look. "You're beautiful," she mumbles. I gently nod in response. I know she thinks I'm throwing my life away at 19. Even though I regret the state I've put her in, hypocrisy comes to mind. Married young herself, she would understand my overwhelming terror throughout this whole situation, but she despises him. That's why I keep them separated, for her safety. A tall man, aged around 40, hands me an extravagant bouquet of flowers. I thank him and place them on the oak table beside me. June and my mother both give me a close, anxious hug and leave me by myself. This is my iconic moment, the charm beauty queen Mia Rockport shining as a young star, before being tied to a man until death. Is marriage really freeing? I never wanted to abide by the rules of getting married, having kids and till death do us part, but marriage equals love. Marriage ties the strongest lovers together for eternity and makes them a whole unit, a partnership. But how can marriage be symbiotic if there are power struggles, if there is dominance and subservience? I try to block these thoughts, but I find them riveting. My mind swirls around my head, wrapped in fear, hope, regret and love. I cannot stay in here any longer and let my mind unravel. Picking up the flowers, I urgently leave the dressing room. Neither of us wanted an expensive wedding. In the way we saw it, it was just another document that needed to be signed. But that document signed us together for life. This wasn't a big deal to him, likely because he was older than me. I'm just that naive teenager after all. I wait behind 2 large golden double doors. Inside, I know what is waiting for me. My lover, my nervous family, and the ring. The trophy of love and wealth itself. The powerful wedding ring. I still see it as a meaningless show-off item for middle-aged women to display the amount of money their husbands once spent on them. But maybe that will change. When I was asked which man in the family I'd like to stand beside me when I walk the aisle, I said no one. This is my moment after all. And whoever would walk along with me would be trying to fake some feeling of pride or joy. I hear the nauseating pipe sound of the organ, and 2 men either side of the doors begin to open them. It feels like a new world is being opened out on the other side. I see around 50 heads turning simultaneously to look at me. Embarrassment brightens my cheeks, and I begin to walk down the aisle, clamping onto the exorbitant bouquet of flowers. I keep my eyes fixed on the floor until I near closer to the altar. Before my eyes is a bearded man in a black suit and a red silk tie. Surprised, I smile. I don't think I've ever seen him dress so smart in my 3 years of knowing him. Holding tight onto the seams of the dress, I bring one heel onto the raised platform and then the other. We casually look at each other and quietly smirk at the event that we are stars of. He takes my hand and holds my sweaty palm. I know that he adores me. There is an oak table with a small wooden cross. The image is always striking to me, and my mind becomes transfixed in religion and crucifixion. Snap out of it. A minister steps onto the platform. My eyes dart across to my mother. She is weeping. Either they are tears of joy somehow, or tears of true regret. Distracted, the minister focuses my attention back to him. He's old, has a blatant receding hairline, and shows a lack of passion and charisma. Do you, Mia? His words sound slow and slurred in my brain. I feel dazed, as if I'm about to faint. All this seems so unreal. Bringing myself back to reality, I hurriedly say, yes, I do. Vow after vow, I begin to become extremely bored and unenthusiastic. The audience, however, are totally enthralled by this lackluster event. I can barely read him. He's hard at showing emotion. I have no idea what he's feeling. I know he's been married before, but I know nothing else. It could have been another 19-year-old vulnerable. You may kiss the bride. He pulls me in deeply, and we kiss for at least 10 seconds. Strangely, there is somewhat of a standing ovation in which the congregation are clapping out of control. My mother is still crying but clapping incredibly loud. We maintain strong eye contact, and we smile timidly. I gently pull away and look down at the booming bouquet of colour. It almost looks a bit useless now, and its comical size makes it look ridiculous against my figure. To almost mimic the archetypal wedding regime, I thrust the bouquet into the crowd, hoping it will reach the ugliest woman in the room. It falls into the hands of a 90-year-old Mrs. Scrooge at the back. Well, good luck to her. I turn and see him with an interesting beam on his face. This whole wedding thing, the dresses, the suits, the fanciness of it all, isn't really our thing, is it? I laugh. No, it isn't. But we can't leave. It's our wedding. They're so lost in it, they won't even realise the stars are gone. I glance abruptly to my mother. Batting my eyelashes, she doesn't even notice me. She seems to be actually enjoying herself, bless her. He winks and we gently run off, through the fire exit, outside the building. We get into the classic black car, and there is a single rose taped to the bonnet. I guess it's our trashy way of decoration. I climb in, reminiscing the fear and hope I had 3 years ago. Racing off, I look back at the stained building one more time. Here's to a new life, I shout, and we dissipate into the distance once again.